Nuts up, everybody. Hey, Justin, have you ever noticed how much Dustin loves cock? Hey, if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, give us a 5-star review and share it with your friends.
Hey, have you ever noticed how much funnier Tony is drunk, Andy? Everyone, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, leave a like or a comment or something. You know, we want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, give us enough likes and comments, we'll get Tony drunk again.
Yeah, or we'll see Dustin's cock.
And now, get ready for some idiots talking about shit. Here is Justin, Tony, Destin, Andy. It's BACC Talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of BACC Talk. It's just me and Dustin this week. I think the other two are crying about the game yesterday. I'm not really sure. Or maybe Tony's getting an operation on his bent carrot. I'm not real sure. But Dustin, what's going on with you, buddy?
Not much. Not much going on last week. Going in today. Just Saturday, me and the wife went and watched Knock at the Cabin. It's a good movie. Had some fun with that. Bought groceries and stuff. Just kind of had our own little pre-Valentine's Day thing, since Valentine's Day is tomorrow or Tuesday, if whenever this comes out. I already passed, but happy Valentine's Day, everybody out there. Whoever celebrates the floral holiday and chocolate holiday.
No, we don't. We do.
we really don't either. We just decided to go. We needed groceries, so we did Hy-Vee's aisle online. Just picked it up, and let's go to a movie while we're up here. Something to do. But yeah, other than that, we usually don't either. But no, not much else going on. Like I say every week, gearing up for the racing season that's coming closer every day. Snow's kind of melting outside. It's been in the 30s here the last few days, so it's kind of nice. Been nice, but yeah, not much else going on. Just enjoying time with the nice weather we have until it changes again, I suppose.
Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, I had a kind of uneventful week getting over the cold and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So, uneventful week here. Watched one crazy football game last night, though.
Yeah, it was crazy. Good game. Commercials weren't bad. Those Caddyshack commercials crack me up every time I think about them. But the ending just kind of got me. I know we've kind of talked about it. We talked about it last night while we were watching it. I don't even know where to start with it.
We'll get there. Let's start with why half the people in this country watch Super Bowl and that's commercials. I was not impressed. Caddyshack was all right. My favorite reminded me of Tony. And if you can remember if you can think of what that one was.
I don't know if I can remember that one.
It was a Ram truck commercial.
There was a couple of them.
It was if you suffer from pre-electrification or something like that. And it was talking about the electric truck, I guess, but it was all innuendos. Like, it sucks when you get going and you can't keep going. Like,
was it that Will Ferrell?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that was the zombie one.
Yeah, it was I think it was called pre-electrification. You have to look it up on YouTube or something, but it was, you know, you'd have a couple there and, you know, he'll start going, but he just can't keep going. You know, or like something like that, and it was funny. I like that kind of shit because I'm into child humor, or acting like a child, I guess. So that kind of stuff makes me giggle.
I think the one I think was funny is the commercial. Like, it was right after halftime where everybody thought their TV remote got stolen. That YouTube stuff popped up on the bottom of the screen. And
did you get worked on that one?
I might have a little bit. Actually, no. I think I stepped outside to have a cigarette, I think my wife fell for it, but there have been so many people on their phones. How many people fell for the who stole the remote and all that? That was pretty good what they did with that. But
yeah.
But it was only like what 7 million for 30 seconds. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good one because I think it worked to everybody that was watching. I almost yelled at my son. I thought he went in his bedroom about that time, and I'm thinking he's in there somehow and trying to change his TV, but it's changing ours.
What are you doing?
So I was about to yell at him when I realized they clicked on Tubi, and then it went directly to a new commercial.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay.
I guess the one thing that got me was Gronk's kick. Right? Didn't they say that was no good? And I'm pretty sure it went right through the uprights.
I didn't see it, but I heard he missed it.
See, I would have sworn it went right through. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I was looking at it, but.
Well, it's kind of like everything else. This happened, but we're going to tell you this happened.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's just like everything else, I guess. I didn't see it, so I can't really talk on it. I don't know.
Well, what was your thought on the halftime show?
Didn't really watch it.
I'm just trying to figure out how far along pregnant she is.
That's the talk of the town now. They did come out and say she is pregnant, so
yeah.
I don't know. I had no interest in watching it. I didn't watch it.
My wife's a big Rihanna fan, so she enjoyed it. I didn't think it was bad, but it's not the Super Bowl halftime shows of the past, that's for sure.
No, and I miss the good commercials. I mean, some were all right. E-Train's on with their talking babies, and it wasn't good. They used to have really good talking baby ones.
Another one I liked was the Coors Light Miller Lite commercial. Like, it's a commercial for this beer and this beer, and at the end it was Blue Moon. That was pretty good. I like that one.
Yes.
I told my wife, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this isn't for either one of them, but they all pitched in and did it together. That's pretty much what it ended up being, but
yeah,
it was pretty good. I did like that one.
So, but I remember the days of you remember like the Bud Bowl?
The Bud Bowl, yeah.
During commercials, I mean, that was, you'd have a play or whatever, something happened during the Bud Bowl, on a commercial break or whatever. That was always good, but.
Or your What's Up commercials.
Yeah, I mean, just
the frogs.
I don't think there's anything that's gonna linger, right? And that's the mark of a good Super Bowl commercial is something that lingers on.
Like I think the Super Bowl commercial that comes to mind, like back in the day, for me would be that dog walking around ends up going on an alien planet. What did you learn on Earth? And he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, this is awesome. I mean, the Budweiser frogs. I mean, hate to say it, but Budweiser always made good commercials back in the day. I mean, they had the Bud frogs, and
they've had the frogs. Remember Dilly Dilly?
Dilly Dilly.
How many people were walking around?
Dilly Dilly.
Going up to their friends, going Dilly Dilly, like.
Yeah. The next day at school, that's all we did.
Yeah. So that's the mark of a good commercial where you have something that's lasting, and I don't think we saw any of that.
No, I don't think there's one that's gonna. I mean, I'll remember them now just because they were just yesterday at the time of recording. But it's like there's none that are just gonna be like, oh, I remember that Super Bowl commercial from this year's Super Bowl.
No.
It's been a few years so I can say that, but.
So there was a football game.
Yeah, there was.
In between all these commercials and the halftime show. And I'm gonna start this conversation by saying this. And it's probably gonna be the title of this video. Wrestling is real, the NFL is fake.
I like it.
It's
not the first time I've heard it either.
It's a fucking work. Okay?
It is.
I'm convinced at this point it's a work. So let's break down the game a little bit, and then we'll get into what happened. So first half was kind of a Philly half, right? But then, even the Jalen Hurts fumble, like.
I missed the Jalen Hurts fumble. I mean, like the first quarter, I mean, each team did their dominant drive down the field, and everybody's like, oh my God, it's going to be high scoring. And then Buckner comes out and misses a field goal, which, by the way, I was happy because I actually won some money on a Super Bowl board because I had 7-7 for the first quarter, which is fine. And then it was just kind of like a stalemate, and nobody can move a ball. And like you said, with Hurts' fumble, I didn't get to see that. I was actually outside the living room. Janelle was yelling about it. But yeah, the first half was just first quarter, first two drives were awesome, and then it was like, oh, here we go. All of a sudden we're going to the trenches and nothing can happen. And then Mahomes at the end of the half hurts his ankle again.
So that I was gonna head there. So Mahomes gets hurt at the end of the half with a minute and something left, right?
Yep.
And my wife said something. She's like, "Oh well, just take him under the tent and give him a shot or whatever." I said, "There's a minute and a half left in the half. Like he's not going to get back on the field in the half." I said, "What they should be doing is taking him directly to the locker room now to start working on him."
Right.
Which I don't think they did.
Nope. He walked in there like after his team was already in there. Or he was one of the last ones back in the locker room. So
everybody's wondering, right? What's the injury, diagnosis? What's going on? Is he going to come back and play? So you know how the you know how they everybody is going to be glued to the TV for an update, right? You figure, you're going to have your first half highlights with the halftime crew, right? And they'll talk a little bit about the game. And you're going to have your halftime show, and then you'll have a little bit more talk after that, and then the second half. So everybody's going to be glued to their television for Aaron Andrews to give us an update on Patrick Mahomes' injury. Well, isn't that just special? Everybody's got to sit there and watch Rihanna.
Yep. No, that's just it. It's almost like there was like the cliffhanger of the movie.
Like, if you want to know what's going on with Patrick, stick around for Rihanna.
Yep.
Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I watched the play over and over again. I've seen players get hit and turn their ankles a lot worse and get up. And granted, he was playing through an ankle sprain already. But really, there wasn't much, if I'm using the right word, contortion to his feet and his ankles in that tackle. He was tackled low around the feet, but it's not like he rolled up on his ankle.
It didn't look that bad. I mean, you could tell that it twisted a little bit, but not. I've seen way worse, like you said.
So,
I don't know. I mean, watching him hobble off the field and act like it was hurt, and then you see him. It's almost like when he was walking in the locker room while they were doing their halftime show before the halftime show. Before Rihanna came on, he's walking into the locker room like nothing's happening. Like, it's almost like he didn't know there was a camera there. Like, he had to giddy up in his step with no limp whatsoever. And it's like, okay. That should have been everybody's cue. Like, he's fine.
It's like the NFL needed a bloody sock, right? The Kurt Schilling bloody sock.
Right.
To keep people interested in this game. Or, again, to stick around for the halftime show so you can get your update on Patrick Mahomes.
It felt like, yeah.
So, because I can tell you, when I say wrestling is real and the NFL is fake, getting kicked in the face was fucking real.
Oh, it's real. Can't fake a chair shot. Can't fake going into a cage.
And again, I'm not a wrestler. Somehow I've gotten myself wrapped up with these wrestlers. Like, that. I'm not part of Supreme Wrestling.
Oh, you're by far.
But the NFL's putting on a show.
Right.
So, second half rolls in. Patrick just comes out on the fucking field like nothing's... Ankle what? Like...
I have an ankle? What? I think it's there. Can't feel it.
And now, there's a play... Before we get to the play, there's another play I want to talk about. I don't remember if it was in the first half or the second half. And I want to say it was maybe in the first half. But Philly has the ball. It's kind of like a little short out or screen to the to the running back, who catches and controls the ball with both feet down, gets hit, fumbles the ball, and they call it an incomplete pass.
After review.
Oh. Because he's
So
got to take
half.
3 steps. Like, okay, so if I catch the ball and fall down on my own without taking steps, and I get touched and I put the ball on the ground, is it a catch or an incomplete pass?
Hey, I'm not a big fan of this whole is it a catch, is it not a catch thing. I've seen plays get called wrong. I've seen plays that get... I think they got that call right.
No! The guy controlled the ball! How do you, like... He had the ball in 2 hands securely. That's called a catch. Like when you secure whatever is thrown to you.
But if you read if you know the rule, it's control the catch, control the ball, 2 feet, and a football move. He didn't make a football move.
Why the fuck? So that's what I'm saying. So if I catch the ball, and in the process of catching the ball, I fall directly to the ground.
That's technically a football move.
Falling to the ground?
Well, you end up falling to the ground at some point.
I catch the ball, and I fall over.
Technically, you made contact with your 2 feet if your feet hit the ground.
Yeah.
And either way you fall on the ground, your 2 feet are going to hit the ground.
Right.
And then you fall down and your elbow, all your other body hits the ground. Technically, you made more than 2 points of contact with the ground. Andy, I hate this no catch rule. I do. Like you look at, was it Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert's catches?
Yeah.
On the sidelines. I don't think either one was different than the other, and one was complete, one wasn't.
So, if I catch the ball and I toe tap the sideline,
You're in play with both feet, yes.
and then I'm out of bounds.
The catch.
I put the ball down.
The ball hits the ground.
I didn't make 3 points of contact.
Moved.
I didn't make 3 points of contact with the in bounds.
Oh, I said this already. I hate this rule. I do. I always have. It goes back to Des Bryant's catch against the Packers. They started calling that a catch 2 years later. Now they're saying that would be a catch. Should have been a catch. Like I look at Devonta Smith's catch on the sidelines, and that ball moved. But did he have control? Was it out of bounds? To me, that's no different than if all you got to do is put the tip of the ball over the goal line and the play's dead.
Yeah.
I hate the catch, no catch. You can screw a lot of teams by that.
Yeah, exactly. So why do you think that rule's in place the way it is? You're still making a judgment call.
The problem is every year they rewrite it, and then no one knows what a catch and what's not a catch is. Because then they get people excited about it again. Like, oh, what is this a catch now? Like, I guarantee there comes out a rule with that. I guarantee it this year. There'll be a rule that comes out.
So if I control the ball with two hands and secure it to my body, that should be a catch, period.
As long as you have 2 points of contact on field, yes.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's
feet inbounds, 2 feet on the ground, hands on the ball, secured to the body is a catch with 2 feet down. In that instance, that play with the Eagles running back is a catch.
The way it should be. Because as a defender...
Because literally he caught the ball.
Oh, I know. I'm with you.
2 feet, he got 2 feet down and turned towards the defender.
Yep.
Like it wasn't like a blindside hit that knocked the like turned towards the defender and could see the hit coming.
Oh, they hit straight on. Yep.
How is that not? I don't understand. I still have no comprehension of how that's not a.
I listened to a little bit today on NFL, Sirius radio on NFL on my way to work today, and they were talking about it, and it's that extra movement. And it's like, I agree with you. Was there extra movement with him turning towards the field, ready to run up the field? Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's no extra movement if I catch the ball and fall down.
You're moving. That's just it. Where do you draw the line at? That's why with the way you're explaining it, if you catch the ball and you make 2 points of contact, whether it's 2 feet, a foot, knee, toe drags, whatever, that should be considered a catch. It is on the sidelines.
Yeah.
They don't make another movement when they go dragging their foot out of bounds. Their movement is out of bounds. The play's over.
Yeah.
So in that instance, I think with the way the rule is written now, Andy, I think they got the call right. But do I think it should have been, that they reversed it? Right now, should it be? I think that should have been the second touchdown for that defender. I honestly do. I mean, I know I said they got the call right, but in like the way you're explaining it, with the way how I wish the rules were written, if you catch the ball and it's secure and you make 2 points of contact with any part of your body, because they always say you got to have 2 feet inbound, butt cheek inbound, or whatever, 2 butt cheeks, whatever. But you make those 2 points of contact, plays live. Because as a defender, you can't control. You can control when you get there, but when it's bang bang and it's high speed, and you're gonna get there to get the hit. You're not just gonna sit there and like, oh, he caught it, I can attack. That's just not how you are as a defender. That's not how you're wired. No. That's why I feel that rule is going to get rewritten this year, and then they'll find another way to rewrite it back. I honestly do.
So now everybody's going to attack me when we get to the end of this segment because I'm talking about a touchdown taken away from the Chiefs. Well, but I'm going to go back to wrestling is real. The NFL is fake. And tell you that if the script for the NFL was to be at a certain point at the end of the game and that touchdown changes that, they need to do something to reverse it.
Yep.
So.
No, go ahead.
Well, go ahead if you had a thought on it.
No, I'll save my thought, what I'm thinking about, for after we get done talking at the end of the game. How about that?
Okay. So, Philly blows a lead in the fourth quarter.
10 points. Yep.
Kansas City goes up. Philly really can't do a whole lot. And then somehow, miraculously, Patrick Mahomes can now run. Mr. Ankle. Mr. Ankle can run. Like, I will tell you, he did a hell of a job selling the injury.
Got an echo in here.
Yeah, Echo Boy has just shown up. So he did a hell of a job selling the injury. On the sideline, facial expressions, good job selling there by Mr. Mahomes. I think Justin's trying to join us. We don't know exactly what's going on. But so Mahomes is now running. There's a third down at the end of the game. How much time we got on the clock here, Dustin?
A minute 45 at that point, somewhere around that. If you're talking about the play, I think you're going to, it was about a minute 45 or something like that. Minute. It was just right after the 2-minute warning.
So we got a third down, and there's Mahomes throws an incomplete pass. It was a terrible pass. It was an uncatchable ball to begin with. As the ball's landing, and you can see it clearly it's not going to be caught, you see a flag get thrown. Really fucking late flag.
That's the first thing that I said too. It's like, okay, if that was holding, that should have been called right when it happened, not 5 seconds later when the ball's on the ground.
Hey, am I still echoing?
Yep.
No.
No?
You got feedback though.
Cool.
I hear a little bit static, but no
Yep.
no echo.
Do you guys
So
want to see my
clearly,
face?
yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be good. That'd be great. Then you'd be part of the podcast.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, Justin. Looks like he is getting
Your
drunk
sorrows away.
after yesterday.
Let's finish talking about it, and then what we're talking about, and we'll get his thoughts on, because we're at the end of the game, Justin. That awesome late flag holding call. That's where we're at right now. So, Andy, keep going with your thought process and what we were saying here.
Yeah, let's keep talking about that one.
So there's a clear incomplete pass, and the flag comes flying. They call it holding, which the holding was if it was holding.
Yeah, holding. Hold on a second.
As he continues to drink with the cap on the.
Guys, drink responsibly. Even in a bit. Even for a bit.
So, the holding happened at the line of scrimmage.
It was like 5 yards down the field.
And
the ball landed in the end zone, outside the end zone.
Yeah, it was barely with 5 yards. It happened on the snap of the football, pretty much.
Yeah, Juju did like a cut in and got into the guy and went out. I mean, it was 0 to 5 yards down the field. It wasn't very far down the field.
Now, you can see the defender's hand is on the hip area or on the lower back of the receiver, and you can see a slight tug, like nothing that's inhibiting the receiver. And nothing that lasts more than like 0.2 seconds.
Yep.
But they call holding. So now we have a first down.
Fucking ridiculous.
For Kansas City. And Kansas City's are able to kneel down, run out the clock so that Philadelphia can no longer get the ball back.
Cocksuckers.
Well, they got the ball back, but it wasn't much of an attempt. But I do want to get with that happening. I'm not a big fan of the call, but I want to give a shout out to Jerick McKinnon because Eagles were letting him run in the end zone, right? And he laid down. A lot of the people would have just ran in and said, hey, I scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But hats off to him for being the smart play. In my opinion, that call ruined it because the Chiefs would have been kicking a decent-sized field goal that Buckner already missed earlier in the game. And the Eagles would have got the ball back with like a minute 20, something like that left in the game.
Yeah.
It would have been an epic ending.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Or did you say overtime? Because we were all talking overtime where I was at.
I think overtime was a possibility there. If they make the field goal, they go up 38-35. But with a minute 20, there's a possibility that they get down the field and score a touchdown. You just never know. But overtime was probably more of a possibility.
But let's before we get ahead of ourselves, let's really talk about this penalty.
Yeah.
So, there are two fallouts, and I'll let you talk here in just a second, Justin. There are two fallouts.
Yeah, there is.
From this penalty. One, the defensive player said, I held him. I pulled his jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping I didn't get caught.
And two, the national sports media is telling Philadelphia fans to not harp on the call. You'll get another chance.
Yep.
Who's saying that?
The national
media.
Sports media. ESPN, NFL Network, whatever. Don't be mad at the call. You'll get another chance.
You'll get another chance? I mean, can't they say that to everybody? Isn't that like what you say in the locker room after your season ends? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's so like ambiguous.
But it's like they're trying to stop the backlash.
I don't understand why. Like, I think I turned to my dad. I said, I don't understand enough about football so fast that they can challenge things, but they couldn't challenge that call. I don't get it.
Yeah, challenge that call. It's not PA. It's not PI. It's not pass interference. You could challenge pass interference. You can't challenge a holding or something like that.
It was also within 2 minutes. You can't challenge under 2 minutes.
See,
yeah, under 2 minutes is all under review.
I mean, we're going to dig into. I mean, me as a fan. I mean, I can't say I was nearly half as mad as people I was with. I don't own that. I wouldn't claim to own that, but they sure own it. And there was a lot of butthurtery, like because their team lost due to it. But I see it go both ways, So like I don't complain about calls, but I will say that I'm less interested in football because of like the stupid little things like that. Like there's got to be a better penalty than yardage, because like for a game to just be like anticlimactic at the end like that for just some stupid like 5 yards because you did this, like it's just corny.
My thing is with the penalty. If the flag would have been thrown when the penalty happened or shortly after the penalty had occurred, the player said he tugged his jersey, which, whatever. Holding happens. If anybody's ever played football or stepped foot on a football field, holding is in every play.
Yep.
Especially that late in the game.
So, in that case, if the flag would have been thrown before Mahomes threw the ball, or like a split second afterwards, I might be okay with the penalty call. The fact that the penalty was thrown as the camera is setting down the field, looking at the play, the ball is like 2 inches from the ground, and you see this big yellow flag go flying through the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
And you knew the penalty was done way before that when they showed the replay. That's what pisses me off.
Now, did you guys go over this today, like as like statisticians, or do you just remember this from watching it one time? Because it was a flash for me.
I've seen it 100 times.
Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't gone over it. I guess the wound is still fresh, and it's just like, oh, fucking well,
A lot of the memories, a lot of my recollection is what I saw last night, and if Janelle was around here, she'd be able to tell you I was livid about it. I was like, that shouldn't be a penalty. When they threw it, when the flag was thrown, that should have been pass interference then, which was not in that aspect at all.
So I'm going to rewind for a minute, and I'm going to rewind 2 weeks.
Go to the Bengals.
To the Chiefs Cincinnati game. At the end of the game, and the flag that was thrown then.
Yep.
Which gave the Chiefs more yardage and a better opportunity and an easier field goal to end that game.
So they were gifted twice.
In the playoffs. Just in the playoffs. That doesn't count regular season.
Yeah, they were gifted the AFC Championship and they were gifted the Super Bowl trophy.
Well, fuck that. I would hate to be a fucking, where are they from? Fucking who cares? Missouri? You know, the one thing I didn't want for the Eagles is to win by a technicality that somebody could be butthurt about.
There's no place like Mahomes, man. There's no place like Mahomes.
What, for that reason? I wouldn't want my team to win like that. Like, I would feel like the last thing I wanted was the Eagles to win and then have everybody already who hates Philly be like, yeah, well, that happened in their favor, you know?
The thing is, with big games like this, you can always point at some point in the game that was in that, the refs were for that team. But if the Eagles would have won that game, there's nothing the refs did to help the Eagles, in my opinion.
That's crazy,
but
man. I mean,
you could certainly point at some things, but for 2 weeks in a row,
right.
2 championship games, for the same team to have a controversial call called in their favor at the end of the game that basically chooses the outcome of the game is now, again, I'm going to go back to the title of this episode. Wrestling is real. NFL is fake.
I think, what's his name? Blankenship said that, right? Didn't I see like a post?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm on board with saying that it was 100% rigged. The Kansas City Chiefs were scripted to win the game and to make sure and not to give the kicker an opportunity to miss a longer field goal. Here we are again, gifting it to him. So I did today put up a poll to just gauge what everybody else tends to think of it. And I'm going to give the results here. So the question is, with the holding call at the end of the Super Bowl and questionable calls in the playoffs, is the NFL a scripted story / rigged or real competition? And I will tell you, I am actually very surprised at the results of this poll. So 56%. It is close, right? 56% of the vote says it's just bad calls and it's real competition. And 43% says it is scripted, rigged, and predetermined.
I was going to add an option in that poll, Andy, and do what you've been saying all day: is wrestling is real, football's fake.
Yeah. Nothing fake about wrestling. I'm telling you. Again, I'm gonna go back to a kick in the face hurts, and here I'm a podcaster. I found myself in the midst of a bunch of wrestlers hating me. So
the thing is with this whole scripted stuff, I mean, I'm on board with it. Don't get me wrong. I feel like certain players are handed a script every season before the season starts that said, hey, this is how this is going to play out, play your roles, and some stuff you just can't control. Like, I look at the Minneapolis Miracle with Case Keenum to Stephon Diggs. I don't feel that was supposed to happen that way. I think the guy misjudged the hit, or it was supposed to happen that way, and he meant to miss, and so Diggs could run forever. There's a couple ways to look at it. So, to me, that was kind of scripted. And only a few people knew about it. But I don't know if any of you saw, but there were leaks floating around about the Super Bowl all week. Everybody should put their bets out that the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl 37-34. So the final score was Kansas City 38-35. And it's out there if you look up Super Bowl script, and it's out there. You can see the meme out there with all of it. But so say this script got leaked, and everybody started putting their bets on the Eagles. Did Vegas make a call in to Buffalo Wild Wings to hit that button and say, hey, reverse it? Basically what happened if you look at the score.
Yeah. So
I
was kind of going to go there because let's just face it, as sports fans, we know it's happened before. Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Vegas and the bookies and the bookmakers run professional sports. Period.
Yeah.
Very, very, very rarely.
Yeah, they do probably run periods too, if you think about it.
Yeah. Yes. They
control all the menstrual cycles as well.
Yes. Very rarely do you see a game, and it happens, but very rarely do you see a game that has like a point spread of like 6, end up with a team blowing somebody out by 13 plus points. Every game that you look at, 90% of the time, the final of that game, a lot of the times, if the favorite wins, is usually very close to whatever the point spread was set at.
Yep.
So it's like, how do they know all the time?
Well, it's like you look at the over-unders even. It's always close.
Yeah.
It's always within that half a point.
Right. So otherwise, if they didn't have some sort of inclination of what was going on, how does it always be so close to what they're predicting, but so many people are also losing?
Well, what about, the one thing I think about is like there could be people that, just know, they can get close to the odds, as wondrous as that might seem. I don't know. There was like that movie. I can't think. Maybe it was Robert De Niro's character in Casino. Have you seen that movie? Come on, it's classic. You guys have that. No?
I don't think I've seen it either.
Well, they take turns.
It is a classic, though.
Yeah, they take turns narrating, and one of the times De Niro's narrating, he says he was good at telling everything, in sports. And like it wasn't like he was controlling things that happen. So I know there's been lore that people like are just good at this type of thing.
Well, see, you said it right there. I think there's good people that can bet out there, but I think a lot of people, hey, a lot of people are taking the Eagles here. I'm going to take Kansas City. Like you see stuff like gets leaked out per se, or you can look at stuff and understand it. Like people that hit like 10 team parlays and make millions. I think that's a whole different world. You can't control every game. I think a lot of it is luck when it comes to betting. But I think like if bookies and Vegas are gonna lose their butt on this game, they're making that call and saying, hey, we can't have this. It's got to be within the spread. I don't know what the spread in the Super Bowl was. I don't know who was favored or not. I honestly don't. I don't know if Andy, do you know?
I don't, but I'm not even looking at necessarily this game in particular.
No, and any game.
I'm just saying, like we've seen it happen before in professional sports where Vegas has controlled
other games, other events.
And maybe it's not Vegas, maybe it's a bookie, right? Like, again, I mentioned it on this podcast before, the movie 8 Men Out.
Yep.
Okay. Which was controlled by bookies. Anybody who knows anything about sports knows the Tim Donaghy story from who was an NBA ref, who was involved with mobsters and bookies as far as point shaving goes, right? And would make certain calls so that points stayed within a certain realm or whatever. So we know what happens. Does it happen in the biggest game of the year? That's my question.
Yes. Why do you think each rep has an earpiece in now? It's not just to talk to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's what it's there for, but there are other people feeding into that ear. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see that? That was holding. Throw the flag quick.
1.5 point favorites over the Chiefs, whatever that means.
So the Eagles are favored by 1.5 points.
At BetMGM.
BetMGM. They were favored. Well,
From BetMGM, you have a gambling problem.
So the spread was not covered. I know the over-under was over. You know, that was over.
Well, no, spread wasn't covered because the underdog won.
Yep.
Underdog. They just need that to happen every time.
I don't know. To me, betting on sports is a formality. Like, I think like DraftKings and stuff has a say in it too. Hey, you can't go off today. We're gonna lose our butts. Stuff like that. I honestly do. I mean, I think there are like I said this before a little bit earlier. I think there's 2 or 3 people on each team that get a script before the season even starts. And this is what you're doing each game, and this is how you need to react to it. Like, was Mahomes' ankle scripted?
Yeah, I came into that.
I've seen people with high ankle sprains; they can't even walk.
Yeah, I came into that, Andy. You were just getting done explaining that because I noticed that in the beginning of the game too. His little wincing face and leaving, and I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah,
but then he was right back.
Like Andy said with that was just to keep everybody on their couches waiting for the update on Mahomes, so they had to watch Rihanna.
Oh, that happened before halftime.
Yep.
Yeah, right at the end of the half. Yeah.
Because I can't remember. Like I said, the whole game was a flash. So like I'm just remembering things like kind of right now.
Well, we finally got you into football. So
yeah, and now I hate it because like I was right because the stupid little you slapped him on the butt. Here's a fucking kick to win the game that you were on edge about. Now the stupid little frilly.
How every year he used to get a script.
Keep foot in the name of the game. We have to have him kick the stupid thing. Like fuck that. Like, you should have to go you should go into the end zone every time for every point. Get rid of the fucking kick. Get rid of the foot. Except for punting, I'd be more interested all the time. I don't care about the kicking. Oh, is it gonna go? Doinker. Stupid. Shut up.
Yeah.
Am I right, Andy? You like the kicking?
Yeah.
Who likes the kicking?
Yeah. Well, it is part of the game, and you can win or lose a game on
to be honest, that's one position on a football team I'd never want.
Yeah.
And Butker, the guy, he was like my fucking kicker in the beginning of fantasy. I don't know who ended up with him, but I picked him because of his name, Butker.
But he did doink one in the first half. So.
He did. That's what I'm saying. The doink came up in the room I was in. Oh, it was a doinker. Nerd. Like, oh, come on, guys. You know.
So I've got something that I am going to share that goes along with what we are talking about here. So let me know when you've got that up there, and we'll.
I got it up in the video too, Andy.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got it all up. All right, here we go.
Aaron was telling me about how the NFL is rigged and how every year he used to get a script. Yeah. Day one of training camp that would get dropped off at his locker. Mm-hmm.
Who's that guy?
You would have to, it was like week 1 you'll do this. Week 2 you're going to have a hamstring injury. Week 3 this is going to happen. Yeah. Week 4 you're going to get 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And so then you just have to, did you memorize those before the season started, or would you go and rehearse the script before every game?
We were really dedicated to it, so it was more so like that's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script. Like, this is what goes on, and this is what we have to do in order to. Yeah.
And this referee's going to miss this call because they hate you and they love the Colts, that sort of thing.
WWF, so it's like, you know, we know what's going to happen, but you still got to put on a show.
Yeah. Aaron was telling me.
Now, who's the guy asking him? The white guy, I guess I should say. Yeah, you're muted, but for good cause.
So he's a podcaster or whatever, and that is
yeah.
And he was asking the question of,
Yeah.
Former NFL star Arian Foster.
Yep.
Who Arian Foster says, yes, practice was
Practicing the script.
practicing the script.
Why the fuck would these egomaniacs go along with this?
Because they're getting paid millions of dollars to do it.
I don't know. Does ego trump? Ego doesn't trump money.
The thing is, if you look at it, probably the people getting handed the script are the big name people, and that's how you get made. That's how you get paid your millions, is by putting stats up there. But listening to that, and I have seen that before, Andy. But listening to that, it's like week 1 you're going to do this, week 2 you're going to have a hamstring injury, week 3 you're having 3 touchdowns. It's like, how can you not make money on yourself, on your own team, or yourself as a player betting on the games?
So
how can you not? Or have friends do it for you.
How early do they brand you? You know, you grow up loving to play the game. There's nothing like those politics in college. Well, of course, college probably now at this point. But I mean, at what point do you disassociate with like the sport you love playing to like I'm just gonna?
Well, if you, and I think a lot of it is money, though. I mean, money walks. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, you look at, like you were talking about with college. I mean, you have some of these players that were big names in college that actually go on to be big. But if you think about it, it's a lot of the people that, like, I look at Arian Foster. He was a good college player. I'm not taking anything away from what he did in college. But, I mean, he wasn't drafted early. I don't believe so. I mean, I could be wrong. But a lot of these people are drafted later in the season. I mean, what kind of script you got to write for San Francisco to lose Trey Lance? Then Jimmy G goes down. Then you got Brock Purdy, and then the Eagles decide to hurt him so they can win a game.
See, this is stuff I don't. Yeah, this is stuff I don't know, so I can't match up like how it's rigged in my brain like you guys can.
So here,
I just hope that it's not. You know, that's all.
Here's what
like every fan does.
Here's what I'm.
Sorry,
say.
Andy.
Justin, if you're the owner and GM of any professional sports team, and it comes to the draft, okay?
I'll close the window.
Yes.
Yeah, do that too.
What is your decision making on your selection? You're gonna pick the best player available, right?
Yeah, but it'd be tough. See, that's hard. I mean, I get what you're saying hypothetically, but I wouldn't be the type of person that would want a team because once all that started creeping in, I'd be like,
But I think anybody, Dustin, you would say the same thing. You want to pick the best player available, right?
Right, that's what people do. Are your team's needs. Best team need.
It all comes down to money, getting asses in seats and making the money.
Let me ask you this. Why? If we're picking the best player available, we know what their skills are, we know what they can do. If our job is to go out and win a football game or a hockey game or a baseball game or a basketball game,
or
one of the biggest things at the NFL Combine, one of the two biggest things at the NFL Combine, is not necessarily the skills things they put people through.
It's the interview.
The interview and the IQ test.
Yep.
So if you're too smart, you might not go along.
Justin's mind is blowing here.
Yeah.
If I'm
like when the combine comes up in April, Justin, watch it.
If I'm interviewing somebody who's going to play a part in my script, you need to know that I can trust that person.
Why you interview them?
Yeah, it's like
I need to know that they're on board with what's going on. I need to know that they're not going to blow the scheme. And what if I put it in their contract that if any point in any time you blow the cover here, you owe every dollar I've given you back.
Yeah.
I am buying your soul for X million dollars so that you can never talk about this.
And then, so I mean, you put it that way. Why do you think you have some players like blow up on a team? It's like, oh, we got to make a trade here. We need a reason. They fit better in this script. This part of the script. Like, look at Stephon Diggs getting, going to Buffalo. Done good there. But I don't feel he was very bad here in Minnesota. All of a sudden now during that offseason, he turned it, all this stuff started coming out that he's a cancer in the locker room. He's all this. All the fans started hating him and all that. And all of a sudden he's gone.
Need an off-season story too, don't you?
Yep.
What keeps people tuning in?
And we get a draft pick from Buffalo. Who did the Vikings pick with that draft pick? Andy, do you know?
I don't.
Justin Jefferson. He was the replacement, and he's exactly like Diggs as a player, as a script.
Related to Thomas?
Thomas Diggs or Thomas Jefferson? But no, I mean, you think about it. You have your off-season script as well. Like, I look at Chris Johnson with that. How many years did he hold out?
Yeah.
They had nothing else to talk about. What are we all talking about right now? Where's Aaron Rodgers playing next year? He's off on his whatever frickin' weekend. I mean, he's like the talk of the offseason because that's what it's been for how long? He didn't win an MVP.
You still have to continue the story even though the season's over.
Right. The story is continuing into next year. This offseason, all these stories are going to come out. And, like I look at the Eagles, what can they do to beat the Chiefs next year? What do they need to do? People are already talking about it. What do the Eagles need to do to get better to get to that next step?
So, I think we pretty much beaten this to death. How we think that there's a.
I like the conversation though about it because I want to hear what people out there think. Email us at backtalkus@gmail.com. How do you feel about a script thing like what Andy just showed a little bit ago? Talking. I mean, that's coming from an NFL player, a former NFL player. I don't think Arian plays anymore. But how do you feel about that? I mean, does it change your aspect on how you watch the game and how you feel about your team and stuff like that?
Yeah,
I'd love to hear from people on this. I would. I thought about it for a long time. I said it earlier before Andy played it. I feel there's a script. It's how it's played.
If we don't have storylines, so again, this is tying into wrestling, right?
Correct.
If the NFL doesn't have storylines or professional sports don't have storylines, there's no sports talk radio. There's no ESPN. There's
no drama.
None of this because nobody cares. Nobody needs to tune in and find out what's going on. It's a goddamn soap opera.
It is.
Well, it's just like media for anything. Eventually media creates news. Sports media
definitely
creates the outcome. I mean, it's so easy. Like going into like a belief system for that is not hard. It's just
like I look at it this way as well. The NFL, who did they benefit more winning the Super Bowl this year between these two teams? I say that
I don't know,
Chiefs winning
now
was the benefit.
They have Patrick Mahomes now chasing Brady, right?
That's a story. It's a perfect story.
Well, I heard that Kansas City wins because now they have more money to buy more fountains.
Yes. But it's true. I mean, what would the story have been coming out of Philadelphia winning?
There's not much. Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl in his third full year starting.
They just did it 5 years ago. I mean, when's the last time Chiefs were?
The year before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right around that. It was right around the same time.
So
the Chiefs have been in the AFC title game every year since Mahomes has been there. He's won MVP twice. He's been MVP of the Super Bowl twice.
So he's chasing Brady, and eventually it's going to be Andy Reid chasing Belichick. So we no longer have Belichick and Brady, but now we have Reid and Mahomes.
They actually, during the trophy presentation, that was asked to Mahomes, is this a dynasty? Not yet. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Who did Reed have as a quarterback in the Eagles?
Well, he didn't
Donovan
get a Super
McNabb.
Bowl, though.
Oh, he had
No.
McNabb. He was around for that.
Yeah.
That's when he was there, was McNabb and that kind of era. Terrell Owens.
Vic, did he have Vic?
He might have. I don't know if he had Vic at that point. Yeah, that might have been his outgoing, was when he had Vic. But no,
But now
I mean,
it's-
his main quarterback then was McNabb.
And so now it's him. It's the Belichick and Brady. Now that we don't have Belichick and Brady.
It's the Mahomes and Reed.
Yeah. So, yeah, let us know what you think. If you
I want to
think
hear
that-
everybody's thoughts. I do.
If you think this is, after listening to this, is getting some insight, do you think the NFL is scripted?
I just want to give a shout out. Go Birds. I feel bad for my boy Jalen Hurts. He played a hell of a game. You know, he deserved to be the winning quarterback.
So I do want to ask, as just a fan, and forgetting about all this that we talked about, Justin, even though it's hard to kind of forget about it, just as a fan sitting there, and I saw the amount of people you were with watching the game. I mean, what was the atmosphere like? How disheartening was the end? Tell us about your Super Bowl experience.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of kids. Everybody had to bring their kids. So it was a neighborhood where my sister lives. So as everybody she knows, we just kind of glommed onto that. Like, oh, it's a party to go to. So we went to that. Other than the fact that like kids decided to sit front row, but had to be the ones that keep getting up and getting in front of the TV. So like, and then they're sort of like they lose interest, you know, real fast, and then they're just annoying. So we had to deal with that, and that's fine. I don't have kids, so people out there are like, "What's so bad about that?" Well, when you don't have kids, they're the most annoying things in the world when you're around them. That's all I'm gonna say. But okay. So the adults, right? The adults, they were getting really mad at like every call, and they were making a lot of noise. Every time they scored, somebody somehow managed to play the EAGLES thing. So there was a Fly Eagles Fly thing. That was new for me. The room deflated. I'll tell you this much. The room deflated right before he threw that bomb. And you know what I'm talking about. Right before Jalen Hurts threw that bomb, and then he brought it back up to what, like 35?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like touch and go for a while, so everybody was kind of like, they didn't like some of the calls, and then once that fucking holding thing happened, it was like you could see people starting to get up and going. The dudes that were like the drunkest were like, game's over, fucking game's over. Like they knew the stats, they knew what was possible, and I'm just like, what do you mean? So, I don't, that was it. I mean, I'm glad nobody like lit anything on fire, but one of the older kids that was at our party like threw a chair.
I've actually watched videos like with people, teams watching their teams lose the Super Bowl, like throw stuff at their TV, breaks their TV, throw their TV in the pools. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Just, I mean, like this is your first like really full year watching the NFL. With the fantasy football stuff, you actually got to watch your hometown team play in a Super Bowl, and I've never actually got to experience that. Andy, I'm guessing you have, haven't you?
Yeah.
No, I've never got the experience. Vikings haven't been to the Super Bowl since like 1960 something. So, and I'll probably never see it in my lifetime.
It's been a long time. This goes back to when I was a Redskin fan, and I think I was 12 years old when the Skins were in the Super Bowl and won it. But yes, I've had.
It's got to be a cool feeling watching your hometown team play in the Super Bowl. It's got to be surreal. You like watching your team in the World Series or something like that as well. But Super Bowl is a little different world.
I was more nervous to go to a Super Bowl party. Like I knew it was going to be something like I can control my outburst, but like I didn't know what to do if like somebody was going to like I said, an older kid threw a chair.
To be honest, I mean, like I would love to be a mouse in the corner at your Super Bowl party just to see your reaction on you actually being around NFL fans during a game. I had to be priceless. I mean,
so we are gonna play a game on Facebook. So you got to make sure you're on the Facebook page. It'll be up this week. make sure you're following Back Talk and liking Back Talk on Facebook. But we're gonna play a little game. It's with the picture of Justin's whole party. And I went through, and so there's a whole bunch of people there. And first of all, I'm looking at him like, where the fuck's Justin? Well, I found him.
We're going to play Where's Justin?
It's kind of like a Where's Waldo, but we're going to have like a cup. It's going to be a scavenger hunt type of thing. So
nice.
See who can find what, and then we'll throw up some sort of prize or something. But yeah, that'd be fun.
Go Birds.
Justin, I'm sorry your team didn't pull it out or was gifted the loss per se.
Did you guys talk about how the Eagles apparently the offense was playing defense?
What? No.
Like the defensive team like wasn't there, and the offense just must have been on the field for defense.
Wait, what?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I'm just dogging
Explain.
on. I'm dogging on the fact that the Eagles seem to let everything go. Like for a stretch there, it was like everything the fucking Chiefs did like connected, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, you
like,
want to know why that is, right, Justin?
well, I want to know how that guy ran the fucking whole thing almost all the way back on kickoff.
Because
That's
they played.
embarrassing.
According to the NFL experts, it's because they played in the weak NFC division, and they beat teams like the Lions and the Vikings and all these teams that suck, according to them, and lost to teams that were bad too. So their defense probably wasn't as good as what they were written up to be. What the
No
stats
sacks
say.
in the game. No sacks in the game. So
Had no sacks.
Yeah, and there was no turnover, right? There was
The
no
only
fumbles,
turnover
no
was
interception?
Jalen Hurts' fumble.
Oh yeah, you're right. There was one.
It's the only turnover.
He was
So,
he was a dynamo.
To me, it was a clean game, but
yeah.
So Justin,
it was
like,
great to watch.
how was basically your first season being a NFL fan and watching it? Are you hooked? Are you ready for more? I know you're ready for more fantasy, and we'll get to that here in just a second.
Yeah, and if I don't get Jalen Hurts in the fantasy, I'm not going to play.
so,
So I'm just putting that warning out there now. Nobody take him. 'Cause that's
so
bullshit.
next year in the first round, he gets the first overall pick. He's taking Jalen Hurts. Write it down.
I'm going to be a total crybaby if I have to pick somebody else. But that's okay. That's fine. There's no crying in baseball. But I'll cry in football.
With our fantasy draft next year, we almost should do a live version of it and draft our teams live so people can watch us draft.
So you can
Yeah,
watch
we
Justin cry when he doesn't get Jalen Hurts.
You can watch me just like end up leaving.
I'm gone. I didn't get Justin Hurts. I don't care no more.
One of like your ancillary friends that I don't know was like, I'll take Jalen Hurts. I disappear. Sign out of the app. I'm not playing. I don't know anybody else. It's like I go to the party and like Andy goes and then he leaves at like 9 and like he's the only one I know. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I did see a picture of 3 Philly fans standing next to each other, and they had 2-3 different names on their jerseys. It was Long Cox Hurts. I think they planned that out, how they sat in the stadium. That was in Philly, probably. It wasn't at the Super Bowl, but I thought that was kind of funny.
So Justin, since you're itching though for some fantasy,
Right.
set up today. Back Talk Podcast NASCAR Fantasy. Anybody out there that is listening that wants to play with us? Go and get the NASCAR app. Download the NASCAR app. You can search for the once you sign up your team and all that, you can search for the Back Talk Podcast League, and the password is all lowercase Back Talk. So another new sport for you, Justin, to kind of get your juices flowing in the fantasy. What do you think?
Like, do you pick teams in NASCAR? Is
Okay,
that how it
so
works?
here's the thing. In NASCAR Fantasy, you get to start every driver 10 times till the playoffs.
No. Every week
I
you
don't-
will pick your drivers that you
6 drivers.
will pick 6 drivers out of the whole pool of drivers. of who you want to be on your team that week. But you can only pick them so many times during the season.
10 times. So, 10 times.
So you can't pick the best guy every week because then in 10 races you can't pick him.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, but I'm pretty sure it has like 3 things on who will finish better. You got to pick 3 different people, 3 different.
Yeah, there's like some questions you pick. Who's going to beat this guy? Is this guy going to beat that guy, or that will be versa? And then you get to pick like one reserve driver. So let's say
a garage driver. Yep.
You pick your favorite driver, and he gets wrecked in the first 10 laps. Well, you could take him out of your lineup during the race and put in your garage driver.
All the way up to the last stage, I think you could do that. Yeah. You can't do it after the last stage starts. Yeah. So good times, Justin.
Now you're going to be watching racing, Justin. You excited?
I guess.
I will be honest about it. NASCAR fantasy, watching it, it's not as exciting as football because you got how many games going on. You're trying to find everything, but it is fun to play. Yeah. I didn't get into NASCAR fantasy till last year, so
I probably will do that before baseball fantasy because baseball's still boring as fuck to me.
And that is an everyday thing too. Like
you can do a weekly. You can do weeklies, but it's not as fun.
You still have to set your lineup for every day so that you make sure your guys are not in your lineup that have off days.
You set it up for a week. You don't have to set it up every day in some leagues.
Right.
You can do a weekly thing, but it's tough. To me, that's tough because you're like, okay, this guy has 2 starts. This guy's only going to have 1. This guy has 2 off days. This guy only has 1. Baseball's tough to me. I've done baseball once, and I was not a fan of doing it. I lost interest like a quarter of the way through the season and just said, my team can stay the way it is. I don't care.
So anybody who wants to join us that's listening can do that. Like I said, it's just get the NASCAR app, download it, go to fantasy, set up.
If you're having problems, reach out to any of us. We can help you get into the league.
Set up your account, and it'll say join a league, and you can search the league, and the password is all lowercase backtalk. So
love to have the fans join us.
Some prizes for that too. Probably some sort of horse's ass trophy if you beat if you lose to Justin.
The lowest horsepower.
Real quick, isn't it interesting? I came in second, just like my boy Jalen Hurts.
There you go.
That's right.
See, it was all meant to be. That's how you know
it was scripted.
So you're both catchers, not pitchers.
Yeah, whatever. If Jalen Hurts, whatever works for Jalen Hurts, I'll be.
It hurts, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, real quick. I wanted to share something with you, if you guys would let me be so bold.
Yeah,
I made
be bold,
this.
buddy.
I've been coming up with T-shirt ideas, as you know, if you've been following. Andy, you're a T-shirt maker. Dustin, you did share something cricket-wise.
I saw a little thing on it. Yeah. That'd be a little tip for you.
So we're all into it now in some way.
So is that a print and cut?
This will be a print and cut, yeah.
What about the one you're wearing?
Yeah, that's a print and cut. Echo off. What the fuck stirs her?
That's once that's once an episode now.
I don't know what you guys are doing to make it come on. How do I share, guys? I'm like the old lady. Where's that button again?
So if you're on your computer, which I know you are, where you turn your camera on, there's a little computer screen button right by the rocket.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you guys get this real quick, right? Here we go. You guys get the idea of this shirt.
Nice.
Get it?
Get it.
No.
That's what you can say to Philly fans right now. Hurts, don't it?
Love it.
So for those of you listening, it's a picture of Jalen Hurts and a donut.
Interesting fun fact.
It's a glazed donut too.
It is.
Yes.
Interesting fun fact. You know why it's a glazed donut? Because I don't want to be like the 3rd or 400th person to think he came up with a clever idea and then have it happen. So I normally Google something and be like, somebody had to have come up with this before. So there is a Hertz donut because that was always the thing in school. You ever had a Hertz donut? No, and somebody punches out Hertz donut. So I was like, I should do a Hertz donut, like him hold a donut or something. So I came up with that, and then I searched to make sure it didn't come up. The only time it came up is when he was in college, wherever he went. There was a place called Hertz Donuts, and when he went in, he would always get a glazed donut. So like the joke about his name goes back to him in college.
That would have been either in Alabama or Oklahoma, if I remember.
You are correct, sir. One of those is correct. You know your stuff. One of those is correct.
Well, the cool thing about Jalen Hurts, which I know I said this yesterday, but he actually got benched in the national title game in Alabama. That's why he transferred to Oklahoma.
Huh.
Yeah, for Tua.
For
Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma, Dustin.
Yep.
There's a place in Oklahoma, or at least was, called Hertz Donuts. So,
Nice.
little fun thing.
Well, good deal.
I might print that shirt for Chiefs fans, I guess.
So we're on the NASCAR, and
Daytona 500 this weekend, baby.
yeah, Daytona 500 this weekend. But I've got to. I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't tell you about the important stuff coming up this weekend.
Oh. What'd you do now?
We have there will be a Supreme Wrestling in Seymour, my home, on Sunday, which also happens to be my birthday.
Wait, you're doing it at your house?
No.
Oh.
So you're going to miss probably the ending of the Daytona 500?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to go to...
you better get the Fox Go app.
Supreme. I'm going to go to Supreme in Seymour. I think I got to go talk to Mr. Betancourt still. See what's going on.
Well,
Boy.
you got your birthday, huh? That's going to be on your birthday?
On my birthday.
Cool.
So anybody who wants to join me in Seymour, Indiana at Racing Masons on Sunday at 3 p.m. Doors at 2. We will be there. There's also a Supreme. Oh, here's one. Supreme is also having a show that Saturday the 18th, and this is what I really want to talk about. So there is a 6-man tag that's going to happen. Yes. Can you count that high, Dustin?
I only have 5 fingers.
Oh, shit. Well, there's a 6-man tag. And let me make sure I get this right, because we had one of them. We're going to have to talk about this, because I thought he was, all friends now. But let's see. So we will have Derek Winter, Cash Jackson, and Charlie Key versus Josh Lewis, Logan Fenrir, and Eric Draven.
We know him.
We know two of them.
Obviously.
Justin, we know 2 of them guys.
Yeah, I know. But Draven especially.
So, wrestling in a 6-man tag against each other. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Draven made a remark online. Yes, he was mad that they were in the picture for this upcoming match, that the other 3 were in the picture. So he put, these guys' pictures get posted, but ours don't. One more reason to tie Charlie Key in a knot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it's like his second one down on his posts. Ooh, one of his says the content isn't available right now. What's that about?
Nudes.
Sometimes I do think people do that to fuck with me.
Sometimes it's nudes.
Nudes, damn, I could be seeing his cack. He has one of those chickens too?
Did you want to see Draven cock?
Hey, it can't be better than this one. Look at this.
I mean, if you want to see Dravencock, you want me to send you Dravencock there?
Oh my God, do you
Justin?
have it? I'm salivating. Do you have it? I can. You can basically discern it from pretty much any wrestler with what they wear. You're like, yep.
So I guess my question is, we had Charlie on here. He's like, oh, Draven's, I have so much respect for him, blah, blah, blah. But here Draven's talking shit.
He's a diamond in that.
Yeah.
This is fun.
So-
I wonder what these fuckers are up to.
He's gonna tie him up like a key.
The shitty part about that whole match is I can't root for either side.
Yeah, what are you gonna do during that match, Andy? Twiddle your thumbs, watch NASCAR?
What does Vegas say?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what does Vegas say?
What are the odds on this one?
I don't know. Maybe
Well,
they
tell
can
me-
just beat each other up and nobody wins. I don't know.
I must not be caught up with Charlie Key. I mean, I'm well aware of Draven and your history together, but I mean, what happened with you and Charlie Key recently? You called him soft, then you dialed it back a bit and meant like,
Oh, nothing's happened. I'm just saying from what he said on here, like he has respect for Draven and this, that, and the other. But Draven's talking shit about because he's got a picture out that he's going to tie him in a knot.
well, that dude. I mean, obviously the one kid with his finger, he's showing you his stink finger. He is young looking. Charlie Key, we know, is young. What about the guy on the left? Is he young? Maybe they're just showing all young dudes. Eric Draven's wouldn't call him old, but I would call
They're showing the future, is what you're saying?
him more of a legend, kind of thing. They obviously, I don't know, Josh Lewis or Logan I can't even say that name, Fenrir.
Josh Lewis is the champ.
And how old is he? Look
I
his
don't know.
ass
It's
up.
probably around Draven. And that dude's a beast. Mr. Indiana, I don't know how many times. I think he was I think I mentioned him on here before, where he's been in all the bodybuilding.
Is he called Big Time?
Yes.
Oh, look at him, dude. He's built, at least in this picture.
Yeah.
His name's Big Time. Okay. Yeah, he looks older. Maybe those other three guys. Maybe there's another poster coming later with the
old guys.
The vintage. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it.
Vintage.
I mean, if anything, it's a positive, and I don't want to throw towards Draven, but to anybody that's their age and still does what they do. I mean, I was watching somebody take the frilliest of tackles in the game last night and be like, if that happened to me, I couldn't even do a podcast. I'd be so. And they just get back up and do it again.
Listen, you can't. You can't shed any light on Draven. He's no respect there. So.
Well, I'm just saying, you got beef with Charlie Key and you got beef with Draven. It's I don't know what's going on there, man.
I don't either. Maybe I should take a chair.
Maybe you should just. I don't know. You don't wrestle, but I was saying there's something you got to do, man. You got to. I mean, we wouldn't do it on here publicly, but maybe we should be like Machiavelli and turn the screws.
I think Justin drank too much.
Yeah,
He's
I
still
did.
drunk from last night.
Yeah.
He just woke up from his sorrows.
I think you ought to take. Since you missed the beginning of the show, I think you ought to take the cap off that and take a swig.
I'm not doing that.
He's too drunk from last night yet.
Dude, I am. I do have hangover feeling all day. And I haven't had it in so long that I didn't realize I knew.
Interesting fact.
I
Interesting
did
fact.
drink 4.
Interesting fact. The Monday after the Super Bowl, the day after the Super Bowl, is the most called in sick holiday
Yes.
of the year.
That's why they're trying to make it a national holiday. So they.
I think the game would be a lot better on Saturday. I'm just saying.
You news sleuths out there, I was, quote unquote, watching the Super Bowl with kids that didn't have to go in on time because of it. So in this area, some schools had a delayed opening.
Didn't Cincinnati do it where the kids didn't have to go to school the day after the Super Bowl last year?
I'm not sure, but makes
I
sense.
thought so.
Now, that's another thing like we could touch on. Like there are some big football cities. I mean, I know a lot of cities have like their own notable teams. You know, but there are just like teams where like they are just big, like the Cheeseheads. You know, like that's like when I think of like telling somebody in India about American football, it's like, well, you know, what about the fanaticism about it? I'd be like, fucking Wisconsin, you know, Green Bay. Like that is like a huge football fucking like. If you, like, you can't get away with being me there.
With Green Bay, the fans own the team.
Oh, okay.
The stockholders.
That's cool.
Yeah, they've got that's the only publicly owned team.
Publicly owned team.
Shit, man. We just made it the more you know.
Well, the more you know, if we want to do that for Back Talk, I was actually kind of proud of this. Listening to the PA announcer at the game yesterday, it was Al Roche. He was actually born in my hometown.
Wow. And
he is the caller of the Minnesota Vikings and Colorado Avalanche and some other team in Colorado, the PA announcer there. But he's PA'd announced a lot of Super Bowls. But he was actually born in my hometown of Slayton, Minnesota.
Now, I couldn't really hear the calls. I mean, it was cacophonous where I was. But, like, how do you think he did, like, in terms of, like, you know, handling both teams?
Damn good announcer. You can't really hear the PA announcer when you're on TV. I just recognized the voice when they actually said his name when they went to it, like, right before they did, like, the national anthem and stuff like that. But I sent it to Andy, or said that to Andy right away in a chat. But it was kind of cool. I mean, knowing that he's from Slayton, Minnesota, and where I live. I gave out where I live. Now everybody's going to come stalk me. Paparazzi's going to go crazy. But no, it was kind of cool. I mean, it's a little known fact. I mean, we're in little known facts there. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, I didn't know he was from, I knew he was from Minnesota, but I didn't realize he was actually born in my hometown. It was kind of cool.
So real quick though, obviously I'm stupid. So you meant like the PA announcer, meaning in game.
In game, like at the stadium.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. See, I'm still wet behind the ears. I don't. You know, I was like, they're
going. Andy got to hear him in person this year when he was in Minnesota.
Yeah, so that's cool.
He's a very good PA announcer. Very, very good. Very good at what he does. That's like his PA announcer name as well. That's not actually his real name.
I'm going to change direction just a little bit. We got to get to the emails before we wrap it up. Got a couple of emails. Remember, you guys can email us at backtalkus@gmail.com. Got this one comes in. Hey guys, what's up? Great podcast minus Charlie Key. But I will respect that he wants to earn his chance at a belt, even though it's been said multiple times he won't get a shot as long as Draven has the title. But good luck to him on getting the other belt. Was thinking since NASCAR season is about to start, let's do NASCAR fantasy like we did football this year. Also,
already going.
Also, what are your predictions for Elimination Chamber? Well, till next back episode, nuts up, Brad. I'm disappointed in the lineup right now for Elimination Chamber, so I don't even really want to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as we get closer.
One other email.
Yeah, I got some thoughts on it, but I'll wait.
We talked about video games last week. My first gaming system was Super Nintendo. Favorite arcade game was Pac-Man. Favorite console game, Donkey Kong. Draven is afraid of you, Andy, which is why he watches you all the time. I remember saying he, you know, like every time he walks by me, he just like stares at me. I also think you could take Morty in a fight if he started anything. You can hold your own. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Titmaster.
Aw.
Titty Titmaster.
Listen. Well, all right. I don't know. Did I miss part of the show? Morty called you out, not to fight, but to talk, right? That still stands?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we have not talked about that.
Not heard a rebuttal from him, so I don't... no, but I would assume, since he lives in the area, he will be at the show February 19th, Sunday at 3 p.m. at Race and Masons in Seymour. So we'll see.
You're going to talk to Betancourt. I said that?
I do need to talk to him because we got to get to the bottom of this. None of the lawyers have been talking.
So are you guys supposed to be talking then?
Got this lawsuit going on. I don't know if he wants to try and settle something or not. But right now it's in the lawyers' hands. But once you start getting things in lawyers' hands, things drag out for forever. So
they're good at that.
we'll see. Yeah.
Well, that's how they get paid. The longer they drag it out, the more they get paid.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, but that's going to take me back to wrestling is real and NFL is fake. Getting kicked in the face, which is the reason for the lawsuit in the first place, fucking hurts.
Did you guys talk about what's his name?
The face is looking better, though, Andy. A lot better.
It's all cleared up. Everything's good.
The jaw's moving. I mean, everything looks like it's healing all right.
This didn't last as long as Draven's hair is going to be shorter, so I win.
Shades are looking tight.
Shades are looking
Nice.
good.
They are tight.
We are good. We got things going in the right direction, but we're gonna have to. We gotta figure out this shit, and I'm sure Draven will stick his fucking nose in it like he always does, but gotta get this shit figured out with Betancourt. So, we'll see where that goes. But I invite everybody February 19th, Seymour, Race and Masons.
This Sunday.
3 p.m. I think doors are 2. So, hey, they got arcades and shit in there too. So like come early, play the arcades, reserve your seat, whatever. But come celebrate my birthday. Whee!
Oh yeah. Maybe get a reel, which you probably plan to do.
He'll be turning 95. It's okay.
If you come to celebrate my birthday, I'll even autograph something for you, and I'll do something that Justin wouldn't do, and I'll sign titties.
Titties.
Both of
Yeah.
them.
Remember,
Justin
still doesn't want to sign titties, I'm guessing.
I was thinking this, Andy. I probably never brought it up because I didn't really want to go back to talking about signing titties. But when you sign titties, you have to copy Andy's signature from the Toy Stories.
No.
They turn over Woody's shoes. He's got Andy written in that.
It's Andy shades, and we draw some sunglasses. That's the autograph. I mean,
Well, don't
should
give it
be
away.
Andy.
Now people are going to be copying it.
It should be Andy in the shades. You draw the shades and then you write Andy inside it.
nah.
A lot of work.
Whatever.
Then people are
Yo,
getting
when he
tattooed
starts signing the millions of autographs he has to do, that's a lot.
Pretty much eventually it's just going to be
millions
that's what it ends up.
and millions.
Of the shady fans out there.
Yeah. So join me for Supreme Wrestling February 19th.
And if you are going to get something, signed from Andy, don't get your tits signed because hopefully you take a shower. Get something signed that you can keep, because you're just going to wash your tits.
Then send us pictures of the stuff he signed.
But maybe if I sign titties, they can tattoo it.
Wow, that's fucking.
Now Andy's turning into a tattoo artist, Justin.
Imagine having your name. That's got to be better than having a constellation named after you. Be like, the constellation's named Justin.
All right.
Oh, yeah?
You guys want to go there? Do you want? I was getting ready to wrap up this show, but do you want to go to names being tattooed?
Yeah, what do you got?
I was waiting for wrong answers.
What do you
Yes,
got?
we have wrong
I mean,
answers
kids.
to get to, too.
Kids is okay. Kids' names is okay.
Okay.
Or your girlfriend that died in
kids, but I'm
1947.
talking about tattooing your boyfriend,
Exes?
girlfriend, whatever.
It's not recommended.
Andy, you don't have a tattoo of Tweety Bird on your butt that turned into Big Bird, did you? Do you?
I got no tattoos.
Listen, Andy, before you say this, now tattoos of anything are you're lame if you have them at this point rather than if you don't have them. because it's like so normal. I always think of that picture of like some dumb rapper that has all the tattoos on his face, and it says, "This is what like used to be bad if you fell asleep at a slumber party." So, being that that's the norm now, no tattoo story is gonna knock my socks off. But
I think this one might. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Because this one goes back to shit.
Many moons ago.
If this goes
I
back to
wasn't
before
even-
now, yeah.
I was not even 21.
Okay. That was some years back when tattoos were still like
20 some years ago.
So
Yeah.
let's go to how this story starts. And so I was working for a sales company. Okay. They sent us, and I was working out of office in New Jersey. They sent us on a project down to Maryland. We went down to Maryland, did our job, and we're driving back on I-95. So, Justin, you're familiar with I-95.
Yep. Love it.
Driving back on I-95, and as we're driving, we pull up next to these girls. This is me and another guy about my age. Pull up next to these girls, and I look over, and I'm riding shotgun. I look over, I'm like, these girls are hot. So I'm like,
Was it
pointing
summer?
at them, waving at them, whatever. Well, then I'm like, I found a piece of paper. I put up my fucking phone number in the window and all that shit. Well, then they're like, get off at the exit. Okay. So we get off at the exit. End up talking to these girls, whatever. Well, exchange numbers, we go home, whatever. I call the one girl. I end up in a relationship with this girl. I end up moving down to Maryland for a while.
Wow.
On a girl I met on the highway.
Wish I could draw cartoons because that's what I would do for this this bites.
Okay, so I
Animated.
girl on the highway, and then next thing you know, I'm moving down there, and we're in a relationship. So
Look at you.
we're down there, and like, what? And we were staying with her sister. First, we stayed with some of her friends, and then we stayed with her sister. Well, one day I come home from work, and she's like, "Let me show you something." This chick tattooed my name with like roses and shit on her ankle.
That's permanent.
This chick have a lot of tattoos already.
No,
Wow. Does she have any? Like she have 5, 4?
she didn't have any that I remember.
That he knew of.
Trust me, I would have known.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking you. Yeah. Does she have any inside her vulva? You would know.
So, I was young. I was young. I wasn't even 21. I moved down there on a whim because of this girl. Those that know me, that I had my daughter when I was young too, so I was driving back and forth every weekend to see my daughter.
So you had a daughter at this point.
Yeah. So
okay.
I got homesick, really. Right. So I ended up ending the relationship because I wanted to go home.
And she's like, "But I got this tattoo."
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, really, I would like to see I would love to see what it looked like today. Like,
Well, what did it say? Just Andy?
yeah, it
Andrew?
had my name and some roses, or
So if it said Andy, what name could that turn into?
Yeah. Sandy. She's like, "I like the beach."
It's a sandy
So-
beach. Sandy with roses.
and when I say this, like, this wasn't like a multi-year relationship. This was probably less than a year, maybe a year. Like,
Oh.
Well, Andy, when you drag it on the ground, that's gonna happen.
so and every time she, this person comes up, I always tell everybody she looked like a young Martina McBride. So anybody who knows what Martina McBride looked like when she was young.
Do I have to know country music for that?
Yeah, you would have to.
Damn it!
Or just Google young Martina McBride.
So now everybody can think of young Martina McBride having my name tattooed on their ankle.
Maybe it was Martina McBride.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't.
I gotta find young Martina McBride because this just looks like Mariska Hargitay.
Maybe she was sowing her royal oats.
I just don't know. I mean, it's just weird because it's like why did you get that tattoo?
Everybody's gonna go look for Martina McBride and try to find ankle pictures to see if there's a tattoo down there.
Yeah, I figured it out. I figured out what this girl did. She always dated Andy's. That wouldn't be good either. That wouldn't be good either. She'd have to hide it from dudes before she scared them away.
Oh, look what I got for you. It's all faded now.
She would have to suddenly show her ankle after months, for that to work.
Yeah, I don't know what she did after that. It wasn't like it wasn't
cut ties.
It wasn't like a nasty breakup or anything.
You're just like, dude, my heart's in New Jersey.
Keep in touch after that, and so I have no idea.
Hey, Martina McBride lookalike girl who might know Andy from dating him and putting his name on your thing. Let us know.
Let us know if you're out there listening.
Does it say Andy is a rat bastard and I killed myself?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Anyone who knows a girl that looked like Martina McBride around the Laurel, Maryland area. Who's roughly
we're gonna get emails like crazy.
Who's roughly my age.
40-ish.
No, that's nuts. That'd be crazy.
I was thinking of Johnny Depp. Whenever I think of tattoos, I think of Johnny Depp and what you do after tattoo. He had Winona on his thing. Mm-hmm. He had Winona Forever or something, and then he had somebody change it to Wino Forever because he's very famously drunk on wine.
Well, so the worst part about this, right, is even if you wanted to just be like, hey, how you doing in life or whatever, trying to, reconnect with somebody, just be like, hey, what's going on? This is the most impossible person to find ever.
No, I think it's part of the things listed on Tinder. It's has tattoo of Andy on ankle.
Only can date Andy's.
Well, all you have to do is go to Facebook and search people in the Laurel, Maryland area. Kim or Kimberly Davis.
Wow, that's her maiden name?
Yeah. So
we're giving out names now, too.
If you could only imagine the 100 million Kim Davises in that area,
Sounds like she invented Garfield.
Yeah.
That's Jim Davis.
Yeah. So anyway, it's that's my tattoo of my name story. I don't know why she did that or why anybody would do that to begin with.
I don't know why anybody. Dustin, do you have tattoos?
Like I said, she was a good girl.
I have always wanted to get some.
No blow up in the relationship. No, hard feeling breakup. It was just
I wonder if she ever satiated her tattoos. I wonder if that just instilled the yearn to always want more. Because everybody that has tattoos eventually waiting to get another one.
Yeah.
They're always making me listen to them going, oh, I'm saving up for, I don't care, I'm fucking walking away from you. But I wonder if she has a ton now. Maybe she has a whole, she's one of those disgusting women that has an arm of them.
I think Dustin's trying to look up Kim Davis and Laurel, Maryland. But by now, who knows what, her last name is.
It could be anywhere in the world, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I guess we could cross.
Do we have a private investigator that listens to this?
Yeah. We could cross-reference.
FBI.
We can cross-reference always dates an Andy in the search, and then
So
Well,
let's do.
maybe she turned lesbian and made it Candy. You know?
Maybe.
Or maybe she became a
Andy.
stripper. Maybe she became a stripper and named herself Candy.
Or Andy.
Or maybe she transexed and she's now Andy herself. She's like, that's my name. Maybe she had a child named Andy.
Martina McBride, do you have my name on your ankle?
That's like an
So-
early tattoo, though. You know?
We do have a game to play. Tony's not here, so he automatically ends up with 1 point.
It's probably more than I'm going to get.
But we have a game to play of wrong answers. This week's question is the motto of California is Justin. Here comes the
Fuck.
player.
You're right. Every time you go to the first person, it's impossible.
It's like,
like
what the fuck?
You got to set like the meter somehow. Like the first person sets the meter or something. I don't know. All right. I'm sorry. I'll have an answer. Put me on the spot, but start the question again.
Okay. The motto of California is.
There's no place like home.
Okay.
That's pretty fucking wrong.
That's pretty fucking wrong.
Can you get any less
Just
points?
remind you of the rules.
Can you get less points than Tony? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm just reminding you of the rules because clearly that's very wrong. And I was asked first, so I would like some leniency, please.
Dustin. The motto of California is.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, that's why I think of California. It's always dark here. I don't fucking know.
See?
Honestly, the first one that came into my mind, because they always say it's sunny in California, right? I was to be honest, my first answer, like when he said it, if you'd have went to me, I would have came out with this right away. It's sunny till we go into the ocean. But it's not wrong. It's right because it's eventually going to happen. But I mean, to me, that's just what popped in my head.
Okay. So you guys want a second go at this question?
Yes. Yes, emphatically yes from both of us. I'm answering for Dustin, too.
It's
can go
always
to me
dark
first.
here.
It's always dark here. It's not terrible. You can stick
that
with
like
it if you want to. Justin. The motto of California is.
You said a new question.
No.
No, it's the same question.
No, I lobbied for a new question, I believe.
Oh,
No, you said for the same question.
Oh, okay.
Can't change the question.
He did on the first time.
Wait,
Just
well,
give
that's
me-
because we did a trial run.
Give me a fucking second, because if Milton Bradley was inventing this game, they'd have some time.
Well, this game was already invented. The motto has been invented, but
All right, the motto of California is, want to see cats shitting?
Okay.
that's my answer. I'm not lying. Sitting here like, oh, I'm going to do this. Justin goes, oh, I want to see cats shitting. What the fuck?
It's a question. It's on the license plate.
You answered the question with a question. To be honest, like I'm not shitting. I was gonna do dogs, but
All right.
you
Dustin.
fuckface.
Dustin. The motto of California is.
This isn't my answer, but I think we just saw the Eagles die.
I don't know why.
The Eagles just died.
All right.
That's
The
mean.
motto of California is.
Can't get Justin's out of my head. I'm just gonna stick with it's always dark here, just because he took my fucking answer.
I took your answer.
Okay.
I've been saying that the last couple of minutes. I thought that's what you've been laughing about. I'm not fucking lying, man.
I can't believe neither one of you didn't come up with holding on till tomorrow or next quake we sink or
That would be correct.
yeah.
You're saying all right answers.
That's why when I said my first one, I'm like, well, that's technically right. It's always sunny till they sink. In a way, it's going to happen.
Or who the fuck actually votes or
Who shits
No.
and
The perfect right answer for California would be California. We don't have any politically charged people here.
yeah.
That would be incorrect because that's all they want to do as soon as they start throwing awards at them in a stupid room.
Yeah. All right, so let's do points.
Andy's disappointed.
Tony not being here is going to get 1 point, putting him
should be
at
0.
5 points for the month. Dustin, 2 points. And Justin for his cat shitting will get 3 points,
So
putting
next
him
week,
at 7 points.
so next week, Tony, if the trend keeps, maybe this is all scripted, Andy.
Yeah.
So if the trend keeps or the script keeps going, Justin gets 1 point, I get 2 points, Tony gets 3, and we're all tied.
And then we have
So,
a second
okay.
question.
So Andy, we have 2 of the punishments. You want to remind us what 2 of the punishments were? I know the one was go ask somebody in Walmart for lady products.
Yeah, you got to go to the tampon aisle and ask for help.
What was the one last week?
5 consecutive beans.
5 consecutive beans.
All
What
at
is-
once. 5 fucking beans. Boom.
Grab 5 beans and go. No spinning involved.
That's it.
So what would this week's
Wait,
punishment
fucking
for the
Andy,
will?
Andy,
Yeah.
can I help you? Can I help you change that ever so slightly?
You can't change what the punishment is already.
All 5 at once.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No. In your mouth.
Yeah, you take all 5, put them in your mouth.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
dastardly. I
And
like that.
no spitting out. You got to finish it.
You gotta
Yeah.
finish. There's no faking it.
Did I mention I gotta buy more because they fell on the floor and they were all back behind.
Well, you
my
better
feet
buy
and-
some.
I know. Well, we haven't worried about taking that lately,
Third
so.
punishment is make the reel singing I'm a Little Teapot.
Dude, I already did that. I mean, no problem.
If Tony loses it, is he dressed as a Smurf? All right, we do have Wheel of Death to do today, Andy, too, as well, before we sign off.
If you will bring that up here in just a second.
Little dead air here, Justin. So, did you play any good video games this week while we wait for Andy to come back?
Part of what rankled me this episode being late is that I've just been so fucking busy with shit. And today was supposed to be tomorrow. So that's why I seem so stupid in it.
Are you a big Harry Potter fan?
Not anymore, no.
So, are you interested in Hogwarts Legacy at all?
Is that a game?
Yeah, it just came out.
I mean, how advanced is it? I don't know much about it.
I haven't looked into it. I know people are going crazy over it. I just figured while we're in the little downtime, we talk about games. Yeah. To me, that's the big game out right now is Hogwarts Legacy. I won't play it, but
I don't think I'm that into I said Hogwarts. Harry Potter. It should have been called Hogwarts actually. I'm not that.
Yeah.
I'm not that into Harry Potter anyway. I don't know. I kind of didn't like how the movies turned out, and that's the last thing I remember. But the books, I read all the books, start to finish. But that was like 15 years ago. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I didn't think about it until you just mentioned
I just know that that's the game out right now, and you were actually sharing with us
Bond.
yeah, that arcade.
007, yeah.
Well, no, the arcade place. Wasn't that you sharing that bar? You were talking about that last week, or did you share us something on that actually had the games? Well, that might have been last week we were talking about that.
No, that wasn't you. That was Brad.
That was Brad. Oh, that was Brad. It was telling me and you about that the other night when we were racing. That's right.
I do like pinball, though. And I do play that whenever I see one.
Are you a wizard?
No.
I love
But I'm not
pinball.
deaf, dumb, or blind. I might be dumb, but I'm not deaf or blind.
So we all get together. We got to have a pinball tournament of back talk.
Just call it Pinball Wizards. You know, we'll have an official song already, and we'll all do our cover of it. By the way, I don't know if the listeners out there how much they were exposed to the rap song that's in the works, but hopefully we'll all do some parts in that, and there'll be another.
Yeah,
we'll get going on that.
Now that I'm feeling better, you're getting mine.
Yeah.
You'll get mine. All right, Dustin, you got the wheel of death.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking wheel of death. Back talk.
Back talk.
Who's gonna drink a lot of motherfucking shit?
Justin, I need a number between 1 and 5.
Why?
Because we're going to shuffle the names so it's not rigged.
Oh, that's right. See, I said I wasn't deaf and blind, but I am dumb because I forgot that already.
So
All
give
right.
me a number between 1 and 5, and I'll shuffle the names that many times.
Let's go with my birthday. 3, please.
3? So 3 shuffles.
3's the magic number.
I get my mouse back over here, if I can get it over here. For some reason, it's not working. Found it. 1, 2, 3. Didn't change much. We will spin this wheel of death. This is who's going to take shots next week.
Me.
Tony.
Why is it every time he's not here?
It's rigged. It's rigged.
He's not gonna
So
do it.
congratulations, Tony.
So basically, how many is Andy gonna drink in his
So
stay?
Andy, give me a number between 1 and 5. We'll shuffle that many times.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Da, 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 da.
It'll end up on
Wheel
Tony
spinning.
5. You watch.
2. We might get 2 out of him.
We gotta get 2 out of him.
Yeah. All right.
So Tony has 2 shots next week.
Wait, real
Yeah.
quick before you. I was gonna say.
I hit the
No,
wrong
is it-
button.
That's okay. I was gonna take you down the colorblind path real quick with me for a second before you pulled that wheel away.
Like, back up if you really want to see it again.
I was just gonna ask you if 2 of those were different colors because they're not.
The 1 and 2 are the same colors. All the other ones are different.
All right, I was gonna say I'm good. I'm gonna kill myself if the 1 and 2 are supposed to be different colors.
No, 1 and 2 are actually blue for colorblind
Okay.
people out there. 5 was
Yeah.
red, 3 yellow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not that bad. All right.
4 is orange.
La da 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 da.
4 is green.
We have a special guest. I was gonna spring this on you at the last second.
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm just gonna share my screen. Somebody wanted to say hi to you, especially Andy.
Nice.
Hi, Andy.
Shit.
I'm Martina McBride then and now. I still have your name tattooed on my ankle, is it? Yeah. So the girl on the left, that's what she looked like, huh?
She kind of looked more like the one on the right.
She come home with that devious look with her hand on her chin and be like, guess what I did?
That's what I'm sucking tonight.
All right, well, that's a real quick game. Worst answer, what is the one on the left thinking?
You better save that for if you end up losing, Justin. Save that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I think I think the one on the left was like the photographer was like, now pretend you just got home and you told your boyfriend of a month that you got his name tattooed on you. Oh boy.
I was thinking more like, hey, do you know what I just shoved in my ass?
Gerbil?
What I did was I traveled to the future and got your name 3D printed and shoved that in my keister.
Keister.
So-
Who says the word keister? It's like coitus.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's a private investigator out there and wants to start doing some investigating, reach out to me and I'll give you the information. And we're gonna find Tattoo Girl.
And I'll make a song about it.
Yes.
And we'll have her on the podcast. We want to know what happened to that Andy. If there's still an Andy on her ankle.
Yep. That's
And
all
we'll call the song Andy at My Ankle.
Okay, I like it. So you start working on that. Maybe we can have it by next week, and that way we start promoting this. People start sharing it. Maybe we'll find it.
Maybe we'll find it. Maybe we'll find this Kimberly of Andy.
What we need to do is we need to get the song. We need to make it trend with people that don't, care about where it comes from, like how memes work. And then they'll be like, we don't know about this one. Maybe we could find her. Let's all work together. And instead of finding some poor girl that was kidnapped, they're gonna find has your name tattooed on her.
Yes. So that is a goal. That is a goal to find in the next.
We might have to go back to the days of MySpace to find this woman.
Yeah, Kim Davis, not Jim Davis. Don't send us a bunch of stuff saying, "Oh, she draws Garfield now."
Yeah.
All right, don't get confused.
So, all right. Well, I think that was a good show. We're about time to wrap it up. We've extended our time here.
Sorry I was late, guys.
All good. Sorry your Eagles lost.
I'm excited about next year. Nowhere to go but up from here.
We'll go around and Dustin, final thoughts.
Oh, great show, everybody. Yeah, Justin, sorry your Eagles lost. Like we've said a few times, you came in when we were at the climax of the game per se. But no, great show, guys. Andy, have fun in Seymour this weekend. Don't get your hair cut or something stupid. Go enjoy the show, man. Stay out of it. let Draven look at you like maybe he has your name tattooed on his ankle.
Oh,
maybe that's who it is.
Did you tattoo my name on your ass?
But no, have a good week, everybody. Happy Daytona week. I'll be watching the race Sunday. Now that football's over, I have nothing else to do. But join us in the Back Talk Fantasy League, NASCAR Fantasy League. It's going to be fun. Prizes will be announced at a later date, and we'll have some fun. And hopefully everybody can join us. Let's make it a big party and just have fun with it. But everybody stay safe out there. Enjoy life, like I always say. Just be yourselves, be human, and have a good week, everyone. Stay safe.
Justin, final thoughts.
Well, go Birds. Got a long way to wait for anything fun to happen in life anymore. Again, but
You got NASCAR.
yeah, I'll try to subscribe to that and get into it. That might take it away a little bit. But I know Dustin, you say this a lot. Support a local business and all that. If we have to do something, we went to Tractor Supply. I know it's not like a local business, but it's one of the local businesses around us. Hey, look at that! And
Local business.
we got deer in our yard now, and they literally stop for like breakfast and dinner. So that's pretty cool. And that's only because the chipmunk's in hibernation, in case you were wondering. Motherfucker. Yo, here in Jersey, it's been like 60 every other day. So Every once in a while, there's like a stiff wind that makes it a cold day. But for the most part, we're just waiting to get like wrecked with this winter we keep hearing about. So waiting for that. Sorry I was late. What's the official story with Tony? What happened to him? Are we allowed? Is it a PD thing?
I think he might be getting an operation to straighten out his carrot. I'm not sure.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't know. He didn't let it out. Maybe he has hair next week. Well, who knows?
Yeah, he went to Bosley.
Yeah.
He's got hymns.
Imps.
I'm going to use my time real quick to bellyache about all of the crap that happened before the game started. I was really starting to get annoyed in like the place I was in, waiting for the game to start. Having gotten there like 2 hours before the game started. Imagine turning on the TV and being stuck watching it until the game starts. It's the worst fucking thing ever. They got to overhaul the Super Bowl if they want to make me happy, but apparently that's not their aim.
You know the fix for that, Justin?
What is that?
You turn it on Animal Planet and you watch a Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, they weren't doing that where I was. They wanted to hear every last Tom, Dick, and Harry talk about.
No, I can't do that. But the Puppy Bowl was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I missed out on that. What was the Gronk thing or Kronk thing, whatever the fuck his name is?
He kicked the field goal.
There's a whole. Where did that happen? I didn't see that.
He did it live in the second half. They said it was live.
Did they show it during the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know.
It was a commercial. It was a commercial.
Did he make it?
They say no, but I thought it went through.
Okay, that's it. Have a good week, everybody. Good to see you. Sorry I was late. Couldn't avoid it. Miss you, Tony. When you watch this, you'll know, just like the last time, you very legitimately got the drinks handed down to you, and you have to drink them.
Yes.
That's it.
His wife can drink them.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to drink them. Cool. So everybody join me, if you can, in Seymour, Indiana on Sunday. That's Supreme Wrestling, 3 o'clock, doors 2 at Racing Masons. If you can't, I'm sure we'll be talking about that on Monday. So for next episode, be prepared. We'll be talking about what happened on Andy's birthday. Until then, nuts up!
Nuts up.